Hi everyone, good afternoon from beautiful Vienna. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Making It in Austria. I'm your host, Andela Mehlijanic, and today I have an expert, sustainability expert with me. Welcome Corina RADU to Making It in Austria.
Thank you very much, Adela, for the invitation. I'm so happy to be present today, and I'm looking forward to have our discussion with you.
Thank you so much. We already started a little bit about, what drives us, what inspires us, and how much change is needed in life, overall in general. So let's start it in that, energy with your short introduction of what is Corina doing at the moment. So what drives you so that our viewers can get to know you better.
Yeah, thank you very much. So what Corina is doing at the moment, I'm a sustainability coach and consultant, and I'm in Vienna since 2012. I didn't start it from the very beginning, my business. I came to work for an international energy company located in Vienna, one of the biggest in Austria. But then in time, I got very much attracted by the idea to be an entrepreneur. So in 2019, I started my consultancy, which is named Solutions for Impact. And I'm focusing on creating solutions in the sustainability field, which is a quite complex field made of so many things. And to explain a little bit what I'm doing, it would be I'm focusing on three lines. First, I'm helping companies define their own sustainability strategy. And in doing this, I help them find what are their capabilities, what are they best at, what are their resources, and how they can create the best strategy for them. The second thing is I help those companies internationally who are ready for transformation to become B Corp certified. I don't know if you've heard about, but the B Corp certification is something that is very known today. It's growing. There are, I think, 4,000 companies in Europe that have become B Corp certified. And what I'm doing, I'm coaching people and businesses how to get this B Corp certification. It's a process. But the result of this certification is making your business the most performant when it comes to environmental and social transparency. So once you become B Corp, you are like the top of the companies that are performing extremely well in these aspects. And the third thing that I'm doing, and I'm very happy to do it, I'm mentoring younger people who want to join the sustainability field. Perhaps they are at the beginning of their life, they are maybe just graduates and want to tap into this subject of sustainability, or maybe they have some experience and want to transfer their skills into sustainability fields. So I help them identify what is the best niche for them and how could they maybe connect with sustainability experts in Austria. Just to help them, be part of the bigger network and start putting their skills and expertise to work. So this is what I'm doing in a nutshell, let's say.
Do you have specific industries that you are focused on? And can you tell us which industries or which specific industry are driving the sustainability? So if there's like a percentage of, I don't know, oil and gas or food and other industries.
When we talk about B Corp, the largest number of companies that take this sustainability certification, the B Corp certification, are in the food and consumer goods industry. So these are the most kind of companies. Also, the utilities one, the fashion industry is coming also because, everything that creates a product. So everything that is manufacturing and creates a product is a good candidate for having a B Corp certification. But I'm also working with coaches, with consultants, with those entrepreneurs that perhaps are developing services and programs that teach people around them how to be better. They coach them for a better life. They train them for another job or for better skills. So also they are very much able and possible to have the B Corp certification. There are different industries, so therefore it needs a different strategy. But the B Corp certification as a process, it's the same for everybody. It starts with short B impact assessment, which companies have to perform. I help them, I coach them how to get to this online tool. It's an online B impact assessment. And then they submit the final score. They have a certain number of points they have to score in order to be validated. And I help them get to this score, you know, with what they have. And then it is reviewed by the B Corp team at the international level. And then after some time, the certification is given to them. So it's a process. It requires some human resources. It requires some time. But I'm the kind of person that, you know, I do it at their own pace, because I understand from my own experience that once you're doing this new certification, you know, that you don't know where to start with and you need time to understand it, then you need to take it at your own pace and not to hurry and just to have all the things cleared and then go for it, you know. So I'm the kind of person who always accommodate time and resources in order to have the best score possible at the BIA, at the B impact assessment.
I'm curious now, so how did you come to this point that you are specialized in sustainability? So what was was there a point in your life where you said, okay, this is what I'm doing, doesn't make sense, I want to dedicate the rest of life to sustainability? Or how did it come up together?
It's a very good question, Adela, and thank you for asking me this. I've started when I was in Romania, my home country. I was working for a big national company in the mineral resources, energy. And there I had at some point contact with the local communities where the company was operating. So my job was to be a CSR officer. I was creating projects together with the local communities. And of course, I was co-creating these projects with them because they had certain needs and the company had a certain strategy. So I was the person, you know, in the middle, trying to get the best win-win situation for all and working with people and working with different situations. Some of the communities really striving to get a better life, you know, lacking a lot, education, maybe water, maybe utilities, everything you can think of, you know, very poor communities. This gave me the fulfilling that what I'm doing is going to impact the life of these people in the community. And this is how I started to pay more attention to what the company was doing in the operations, you know, what was the impact and how can it be better? You know, how can you increase the positive impact? How can you decrease the negative impact? Because like in everything we do, there is a positive consequence, but it will also be a consume of resources and a negative, you know, effect. So how can we move, you know, the balance toward the positive much more and reduce the negative to the minimum? And this is how I started being interested in this topic. Of course, I didn't know so much. So when I came to Vienna, the first thing I was looking for was a training or a course or anything that would give me the theoretical basis of the knowledge, you know, to how to do this project. And I've made my MBA here. I've made it in CSR and CSR management. So everything what I learned, then it was fitting to the right places. And being already, you know, with some experience in project management, then I understood much better why the things fall in those places and why it should be like this and not other way around. So it gave me more confidence in me, and I started to work much more with this stakeholder management, with large groups. Working in my role in Vienna, I was always abroad, and I could look how projects in other countries were impacting the life of the communities where they working, you know. So I was always keen to bring this impact as big as possible. And although it was not a very impactful position, I thought that I had the ideas that one day I can put them into practice in one of my own projects later on. So I did this later on when I started with Solutions for Impact.
And how did COVID impacted sustainability and actually making us more aware about the resources? Do you see a major shift, or is it more or less the same as it was?
Yeah, of course, I see a lot of shifts. The first thing that we could see was that we were part of the global economy, and when the main supplier of, let's say, medical, masks and medicine and everything we use for COVID from China felt, then we realized we should have had maybe Plan B or Plan C, how to deal this locally. That was the first thing, this big supply chain that was globally arranged didn't work anymore. So what I think that the first shift is that we started to think, how can we take care of our needs locally through our own resources, and how can we implement a part of the sustainable development goals that we hear about, the SDGs around us. So they have clear action plans how you could develop locally in order to be prepared in such situations. Another shift I see is now companies have started more to work the remote work, which before was maybe not so much used. And I see that they also embrace this hybrid way of working, which I think is fantastic. But also they are much more focused on giving their workers the health and the well-being conditions that they need, which before was kind of like, okay, maybe they have worked like this for many years. Why did we change this? It's moments like this. It's like COVID or other pandemics, or maybe something that has happened in the past had the same effect. Moments like this show you that the things that always worked in this way need to change. It's not good that something works in the same way for a longer time. They always need change. I see also a change in consumers' behavior. For example, also in myself as a consumer, I could see I'm looking at the products that I'm purchasing. I'm looking at to see the specification, how sustainable it is. And it's not only like how sustainable the raw material is, but also where it's made. And I'm trying to find, to Google it. I'm trying to Google it, a lot of information to see about that company. Maybe it's a B Corp, maybe it's not. Maybe it's a company located somewhere in Europe. Those kind of, for example, those products where you see made in Europe, made in EU. It says nothing because it probably is made somewhere in Romania where people are not paid according to their labor contract, or maybe it's done in Serbia or something like this. So still you need to find for yourself as a consumer a lot of information. I see this has changed. A lot of young, especially young consumers are very motivated to look to see if they buy something, it's like an investment. We invest in a sustainable product for our life, or we eat it, we will use it for a longer time. It doesn't matter, it has to be sustainable. So this is very good. This I see as a good trend for implementing more sustainability into our lives individually and as a collectivity, in a country or maybe in a city. So just be more mindful and see about the things we buy and where we invest our money.
Definitely. So that's the last shift I see we see at our home as well. So before it was just normal to buy and just not think about it. And now it's more really critically thinking, okay, do I need a new t-shirt, or do I need a new chair, a new desk, or even if I need things, I'm now looking into like Wilhelm or other places, or I'm looking for my friends if they are trading something, and just thinking about it. Why does it have to be again buying new clothes over, for instance, clothes or furniture, and so over and over again? Where does it stop? There's and we just talked before we started recording that it's really important who do you spend time with. If you have friends with, and before that, so I used to work in big corporations where the emphasis wasn't on these values. It was different. It was just like grow as much as possible, do faster as much as possible. It wasn't talking about the well-being, the mental health, for instance, now a big topic, or like just not expanding that big. Expansion might be fun, but at which expenses? If you forget about people, if you don't have a plan to take care of 250 people instead of 20, yeah, it brought a lot of attention to me, at least, that I want to be in charge, kind of, it's my money at the end of the day, so why should I just give it freely, like there's no tomorrow, there's has to be some thinking done in behind. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
We talked now about the sustainability, and of course it's a major part of us, what we eat, what we wear, of course it's how we feel as well at the end of the day. So you mentioned, Corina, that you came to Austria from Romania, you came to Vienna, so you worked in a major multicultural company, corporation. Now you have your own business. So how is Vienna for you doing? So did you face much challenges, or how was the language? How was the culture? People? So what was your experience back in the days?
Yeah, when I came to Vienna, the language was missing. I didn't know any German. I didn't know any German, but I was willing to learn. So one of the first things that I focused when I came to Vienna, it was okay to find the language classes that I can take after work. So I remember I'm very fond of the times when I was going to the Deutsche Academy, for example, in Vienna from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. every day, and trying to understand how the language works, and being excited to speak for the first time, maybe with my neighbors or with some friends, and see how they react. So that was the first thing I understood. That, and I also wanted personally to be able to read, to be able to read a book once, in German, to be able to have conversation and communication. It was very important to me because I think I'm a very communicative person, and I don't like to be isolated, or I don't like to feel, isolated from a conversation where I don't understand the word. So I think it was a good investment, because later on, when I started to look for other job opportunities, I could see that the language was very important. And although if I compare with other people, if you come from Eastern Europe, you usually are very well educated. There are a lot of universities. People go all the time to develop themselves, skill wise. And so even if you come to Vienna with an international experience, it's still not enough. You need to be able to share this experience. You need to be able to make people listen to you. So the language was quite important. And I could see later on, looking for job advertisements, that the language was clearly there. And of course, coming into a new country is like swimming in new waters. You never know what's going to swim there. So I never knew what's going to swim in Vienna when I came. But coming for this job, it was a little bit of a good start for me. I was already feeling secure financially while I had this job, and I wanted to explore more the city and to grow. Later on, unfortunately, when I was in the situation not to have the job anymore, I realized that a big important thing that I never invested in was the networking. So everything I knew was in the same network, in the same sector. And I realized I have to look outside my sector. I have to look outside the fence to see other sectors where I could work, something I like maybe. And I was drawn into this entrepreneurial spirit, and I wanted to talk with startups. I wanted to meet more founders, more entrepreneurs. So what I did was to have a big research for several months, even years, to find out who is who in this sectors, and I tried to network as much as I could with people that I knew that they wanted to listen to me, or I knew that they had something meaningful and relevant to say. And perhaps one advice that I can give to others that are now thinking to come to Vienna is network as much as you can. But then after that, try to focus on those people that can not only be your support mentally, friendly, but also those who can support you professionally. So try to find those people that can maybe help you on your path. If you don't have a job, people that can advise you how to make a resume or where to apply, and maybe give you some tips and tricks on how the HR policies work in Austria differently from, for sure, than the places where we are from. So these things are very important. Try not to forget them. So coming to Vienna, I had to learn this in time, and I think that the whole experience that I enjoy even today is transformation, I would call it. I think I was ready for this transformation. I embraced it. I wanted to meet new people. I wanted to speak. I wanted to do things. I wanted to put myself a little bit in the center of the stage, sort of saying from one of the many ladies working in a multinational company, just to become an entrepreneur and do something on my own, without fear and without lack of confidence. That took some time, and I realized I have the right skills, I have the right mindset, I'm open to communicate. So I thought, what in the hell can happen wrong here? I think only good things can happen. So I still believe on this today.
There's so many things, Corina, that you said that I can underline as well and see from my experience too. As you said, network, and have a very diverse network, as you said. For me, it was the same. Coming from Bosnia here, getting to my first job, and then later on as well. I have friends who know how the contracts work. So I interviewed, for instance, Martina Ernst, who knows how the contracts are written. So yeah, she has over 30 years experience over there. So having her to look for my contracts later on, and then talk about, the salary negotiation as well, or finding a job through the MBA, or keeping in touch with, through my work, I kept in touch with partners and customers that I was really fond of. I felt like, okay, they're doing something that it's meaningful, and they have a strong vision, and they have good values. So but the founders have a clear and values that I can relate with. So where they, for instance, spoke about their family. So when we met, it wasn't just, work, but there's, okay, I have kids, and I have 2 small kids, and my wife is working, and it's tough, and it's I'm from another country, and so on. So I was looking very much, and I'm still very much looking at people, so if I share values with them, so what, and interests as well. So if they are givers as well. So if you take someone, let's say, to your network, that they as well, when they take something from the network, that they just continue giving to other people. Because I love to open my network, but as well I say, okay, when the time comes, I will come back to you in a good way. There's someone always asking like for a job, and I say, Corina, can you spend 15 minutes with this lady because she wants to get in your sector, and so on. So I'm always looking for these kind of people. So it's good to surround yourself with people that are ready to give, and give to other people, and just keep growing, because that's how you as well, you said you want to create impact in the world, and that's also one of the ways how to help others to get hop on their career as well.
I also think of this, and this is what I'm trying to do with the mentoring program that I have. I'm really opening up all my resources and my network to those who really want to tap into this sustainability field. And I know how hard it is. Maybe you don't have the language, maybe you don't have the network. It's difficult. You have to have someone to take you by the hand, for some time, and help you see clearly the things, and then just let you spread your wings and fly. This is what I like to do, and I'm also part of a program which is an international one that helps energy professionals, only women energy professionals that want to expand, their skills. And such a program gave me, for example, the opportunity to have mentees from Guatemala, from San Salvador, from now I have from Jordan, from Amman. So I'm very happy still, virtually, to meet these people, to meet these women, and really be part of their life and career for almost 1 year while we have our mentoring year. And try to understand their culture, try to understand how I can help them. And they share with me the things that they feel they are not really 100% sure about, how to engage, for example, with stakeholders in a big energy project, how to bring more sustainability in a public institution, for example, where, people are not really listening to such message is difficult. Yeah. So things like this that can always improve you professionally and let you grow. So
yeah,
I
absolutely.
understand, and I'm with you in everything you just said, because I feel this is also something I do with passion.
Yeah, it's win-win for us. So I learned so much from my mentees as well. So and them telling me what I could do, and I asked them for advices on my career as well and things that I'm doing, if that makes sense or not, and then asking for their feedback. It's two-way. Corina, before I ask you what you read and we wrap up for today, is there anything else that you wanted to share with us regarding starting in Austria or regarding sustainability, anything that's left unspoken?
Well, I think that one thing, maybe one advice, and especially for ladies, for women, don't lose confidence in your efforts, and never lose confidence in your judgment, even though it might not fit to the bigger group, maybe for a while. It's just be strong, feel strong about your skills, feel strong about your possibilities. Austria is a welcoming country when it comes to finding resources. When I remember in 2012, I still found difficult how to find English in English language different resources about sustainability. When I made my master degree, it was all in German with very little workshops in English. So I felt a little bit difficult, but I tried to overcome it. But now it's much easier because you have much more. So try to research. If you want to get into the sustainability field, try to research, try to see where what you like to do, where you would fit better with your knowledge and experience, and then don't lose faith in what you have to do. Austria is a perfect place if you want to make it, as you say. At least to try to make it. Yeah, you never know where you end in the end, but at least try to make it. Give your best, and the results will never cease to show. Really. And just this is the biggest advice I can give. Take confidence in yourself and just try it. It's worth it.
And as you said, look behind other fences as well. So because it might seem that you are, struggling in your company, and then it happened to me many times. And when I look around and see people that are struggling in their company on the same topic as well, and sometimes it helps to exchange a little bit and then join the forces. Try different perspectives and methods that convincing people.
I would say, in addition to this, be courageous, and as you said, look beyond your area of expertise. Maybe there's something that you never considered, and look to try for free some things. Even you want to learn, you want to develop yourself, or you want to work for a short time as a volunteer somewhere. So try different things that you think it's going to work for you, and be always courageous. Somebody more smart than me always said, no one never regretted for being courageous. So be courageous, and definitely you can make it.
Thank you, Corina. I'm noting it down. I will definitely tag it as Be Courageous, this episode, and sustainable and meaningful, and many things that we have spoken today. Before we wrap up, I want to, of course, thank you for taking the time and joining us and sharing your expertise and your contacts and being so welcoming. Before we wrap up, so what do you read? Is there any book or books that you would like to recommend to our viewers?
For now, I think I didn't have time to read in the last months, but I listen a lot. So I listen to different podcasts. Some are professional podcasts, like Be Enthusiast in Austria, for example, which is dedicated to companies that want to be more sustainable. I'm also having a nice podcast that I listen, which is about the nomad life, how to build your business when you have to change countries and you need to practically change a little bit about yourself or even reinvent what you're doing. And I also listen a lot to Sadhguru, which is a character that brings me a lot of comfort and a lot of relaxation and getting back to what I really am as a person. Besides things that I do, I'm sure I could do it even better and even more. So, but I'm always willing to reconnect to myself at the end of the day. So I always listen a little bit of Sadhguru advices and his channel, to reconnect, to get balanced, to feel again the positive energy inside myself, and feel happy about things that I've done or I haven't done that day. Just feel happy about the day that has been in front of me, and I've managed to live it nicely, and to be proud and looking forward to the next. So this is the things that I really like to connect with and to relax.
As they would say us during the yoga practice that I've been doing, is like your best is good enough. So today your best is good enough. It can be always better, and tomorrow is probably be better if we know, but your best today is good enough. Thank you, Corina. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you everyone for watching, liking, sharing. I'm looking forward to reading all of your comments, and I will of course link it, Corina's contact details, as well her YouTube channel as well, Solutions for Impact. So thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful day. Thank you, Corina.
Thank you so much, Adela. Thank you.
You.
Have a wonderful evening.
You too.